Hey YouTube, Majestic Tiger here, and today I am going to teach you guys how to create your very own Minecraft server for Minecraft 1.6.2. This should work for any version beyond Minecraft unless they change the server files. I've done this in the past, and I've done it the same way as of 1.2 to 1.6 now. So I'm just going to delete this one and start from scratch so I can make sure I teach you guys all the steps you need to know. So first off, what you want to do is right click on your desktop, go to new, and create a new folder. What you're going to want to do is name this something like Minecraft server, or you can just name it server, just something that you'll be able to remember, and make sure you know that this is going to be your server. You're going to need this folder in a minute. So for now, what you're going to want to do is you want to go to minecraft.net and your internet browser, and from here you're going to want to find the Buy Now button, go a little bit below that and click download it here. Once you click there, you're going to go to this screen. You're going to find multiplayer server. You're going to go to this link right here, or this thing right here that says minecraft_server.1.6.2.exe. You're going to click on there, and from there you're going to want to click on desktop or wherever you saved your folder, and you're going to want to find it. So here's mine. You're going to want to open that folder and save it inside of there. Now the reason we do this is because after you open this file, or after you run this, it's going to create a lot of other files, and you don't want it cluttering your desktop. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to open that folder where you saved the Minecraft server, and you're going to want to double click it. It's going to pop up with this. Usually I unclick this. The only thing that this does is it's going to show, if you unclick it, it will not show the screen every time you try to open the server, and you won't have to hit run. So I just unclick it every time so I can just double click it without hitting run, because I know this is safe. Even Norton says so. So the first time it's going to take a little bit to load up because it has to regenerate everything. You're going to see some warnings and some failed things. And the only reason these are failed is because right now it's creating all of these files. So these are all the files it was creating that I told you it was going to. So after this is done, you'll see that it is done. And you're going to want to type in stop right here. Now, every time you're going to close your server, it's better to type in stop here rather than just click this X, because typing a stop gives it a smoother closing and will allow it to save everything easier, and it has a better chance of not corrupting anything. So you're just going to hit stop, or type in stop, and it's going to take a second the first time, and it'll show you that it was saving stuff right there. So now that we ran that, you have all these things in here. So the first one is going to be your world. It's all the information on your world. We'll talk about that later. The banned IPs, it's pretty obvious. Every time somebody joins the server, it'll show the IP that they used to join. So let's say I'm going to create this server just for me and my friend Majestic Llama to play on. So let's say Majestic Rhino 24, which is another one of my friends. He keeps joining my server and I don't want him to. So all I have to do is go to banned players, type his name in here. So then after that, I would hit File, and I would hit Save. So after that, now Majestic Rhino 24, that name can no longer join your server. But let's say Majestic Rhino 24 has another account. It's Majestic Rhino 23. And let's say he has a lot of accounts. You don't want to go through the hassle of banning all of his accounts. Every time somebody joins the server, it'll show the IP they used to join. So what I'll do is I'll open up my server. I'll go into Minecraft and I'll join my own server. I am going to block out the IPs on everything so you can't see them, but you will be able to see that there is a number. I'll leave the first and the last number open just so you can see that there is going to be a number there. So after I join, now I'm in the world. I'm just going to minimize this. You'll see that it says BBoston5 and it'll have this number right here. This number right here is the IP that I used to join my server. It's my IP. So if somebody keeps joining your server, all you have to do is take this IP and then type it into the banned players or the banned IP, and then that IP will no longer be able to join your server. So now that I don't need to do that, we're just not going to mess with that anymore. So I'm going to exit the server and I'm going to close it again. So because we don't need this right now. Okay, so now with that is done, we're going to go to the next one, Ops. Basically what this does is whoever's name you type in here gets admin powers. If you don't know what those are, that's the ability to change game mode, the time of day, fly, spawn stuff in. It's basically an admin. So me or Llama don't really want these powers because we're going to be doing LPs and we want to do everything legit. So I don't need to type any names in here, but if let's say somebody you wanted somebody to be an op. You know, you just type in your username or whoever's username and you hit file and then save. But I don't want to do this, so I'm not going to save. The next one says server. This text document you don't want to mess with. There's nothing in here that you need to know. The next one below it, the other server, the properties file, you do want to open this one. This one has all the information, or all, not all, but some of the customizations that you can do to your server. It'll allow you to enable NPCs or disable NPCs. It can allow you to spawn mobs or not spawn mobs. It allows you to change the difficulty, the max players, the spawn protection, and things like that. So the only things I'm going to go through and change here are the difficulty. 1 is the default one, which is easy, 2 is normal, and 3 is hard. I'm not sure what hardcore is. You can look it up if you really want to know. But we're going to play on hard, so I'm going to put that to 3. The game mode I'm going to leave on 0 because that's survival. I'm pretty sure creative is 1, and then adventure is 2, but don't quote me on that. You might want to look it up just to be safe. We're going to leave everything else except for the spawn. Wait, no, actually we are going to change the max players from 20 to 2 because it's only going to be us 2, so I don't need any more. Spawn protection, since we're not ops, we're not going to be able to use the spawn, so I'm going to make it small. I'm only going to make it 4 blocks. Actually, we're going to make that 2 blocks. The messages of the day. Now this is kind of cool. Basically what this is, if I go to, wait, I'm going to have to open the server first. I'm just going to save this real quick. Oops, I meant to hit save, my bad. If you just save this first, then we're just going to minimize it. So if I open up my server and I go to my Minecraft where the server is, you'll see right here it just says a Minecraft server. What this message of the day does is it changes what that says right there. So if we go into this file and we change this to, I'm going to name it Llama and Boston LPs. So I'm going to file and I'm going to save. But it's not going to take effect yet. If you want any changes that you've made to take effect, you have to stop your server and reopen it. Otherwise your effects won't change, or anything you've done won't change. So once this is open, now that it's open, I'm going to go to Minecraft, I'm going to refresh this, and now it's going to say Llama and Boston LPs. And it's going to have 2 max players, so you can see that I actually did change this. So we're just going to minimize this now, and we're going to stop the server again, because we don't need it anymore right now. Okay, whitelist, this is the next thing. Whitelist, if you don't know what this is, it is a list that only allows whatever names are on this list to join your server. So sometimes people can hack it and get past it, but on a server like this, you probably won't have anybody that's trying to do that. If you're trying to host a server where you're going to have a lot of random people joining, you might want to host a bucket server. This is just a small server for you and your friends to play on. So since I only want myself and Majestic Llama 16 on here, I am going to put our names only, and I'm going to save it. So whoever you want on the server, if you want to have a whitelist, you don't have to, but you can do this and then save that. Another thing though, you're going to have to go into the server. Again, you're going to have to go to whitelist, and you're going to have to change it from false to true, and then you're going to have to save. So that'll only allow those 2 people on the server. So now we're done with this. We're just going to save again to make sure. Or you can exit out of that. So now that we're done with this, we're going to go to the world. So we joined the world. It wasn't a terrible world, but let's say there's a world that I want. And there actually is a world that I want. I generated a world in single player, and it was actually a really nice one. This is actually like a pretty nice world too. I think I'm going to hold on to this one too, but I'm going to teach you how to change the world. So let's say you went into single player, and I generated this world the other day. And I want to use this world just because this world was a giant open grassland when I spawned, so I liked it a lot. So we're going to use this one. So what you want to do is we're going to minimize this. We're going to stop the server again because we're going to have to make changes to the server files. So we're going to take this world and we're going to drag it outside of this folder to the desktop, or you can put it in the recycle bin if you want, but I kind of want to keep that world. So you're going to want to go into the start menu, and in the search bar right here you're going to type % app data %, and you're going to want to hit enter, and you're going to find your .minecraft folder. You're going to double click on that. You're going to find saves and double click on that. New world is the name of that world that I was on that I generated. I'm going to rename this first to server world, just so that I know which world this is. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it to my desktop. Now we're done in here, so you can close this. So now you're going to take the new world out of your single player if you want to do this. You want to drag it in here. Now you're not done yet. What you have to do first is you have to go into your server, and since the current name is world, that was the same name as this. Since this one is server world, you have to type it the exact same way it is. So we're just going to type in server world. So now if we file and we save, you can see that I spawn in the same place. It'll be a giant open grassland. I probably should have found a marker that I could have proved to you that it was the same, but you're seeing right here there's no cuts in this. So I'm going to reopen the server. It's going to have to regenerate some things because this is a new world now. Oh, maybe it didn't. That was pretty quick. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're going to go back into Minecraft. We're going to go to multiplayer, and we're going to join this world. As you saw before, we were by a bunch of trees. Now we are in this open grassland. If you really want to, you can rewatch the video and you can see that I did see those trees as I spun around and I saw the ocean over there. This is the same world. So now that we're done doing that, that's how you can change a world from single player to multiplayer. If you find a really good world in your single player world that you want to show off to your friends, this is a way you can do it. So now that we're done with this, we're gonna close this, and then we're gonna stop the server again. So we don't need to use that anymore for now. So now, another thing you have to do for this to work for your friends to be able to join is port forwarding. Now, the problem with this is a lot of people have different routers, and the thing with this is I probably don't have the same router as you. So I can't teach you every single way how to do it with your router, but a lot of them are close to the same. What you want to do is you want to click on your start menu and type in CMD and hit enter. Once that happens, you're going to show up this, you're going to type ipconfig, ipconfig, and hit enter. And all this stuff's going to pop up. You want to scroll all the way to the top, and then you want to scroll down a little bit until you see wireless LAN adapter, wireless network connection. And then you're going to find that there's 5 things here with 4 numbers. You want to find the third one and the second number. It's going to be the IPv4 address. Mine is 192.168.1.7. I have a Netgear router, and usually these are default 192.168.1. A number between 0 and 100, or 0 and 99 usually. Sometimes they can be over, but usually that's what they are. Mine so happens to be 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my internet browser. We're done with Minecraft.net, and I'm going to type in 192.168.1.1. This is going to take me to Netgear. My username by default is admin. My password by default is password. And I'm going to type that in, and I'm going to hit enter. So it's going to bring me to my router. I have a Netgear WNDR 3400 V2. The way I port forward on my router, I go to advanced, and then I go to advanced setup, port forwarding / port triggering. Now I do have this already done, but I'm going to create a new one. I'm just not going to save it so I can show you guys exactly what you need to do. So I'm going to type in add a custom service, or not type in, hit the button, add a custom service. You probably want to name this something like Minecraft server or something that will allow you to know that this is going to be your Minecraft server. Now the port that you have to forward has to be 25565. Okay, that is the standard port that you have to use for Minecraft. So after you type both of those in, those will show up there, and you want to leave this TCP-UDP. Don't mess with that. If it's not, make sure you can try to change that to that. If not, I don't know what to tell you. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So what you want to do is you're going to see the same number that's right here, the 192.168.1. Whatever it is, whatever this number is, you want to type in this box here, or you can find this one. See, this is the same computer, or you could just type in the 7 here. So after you do that, you could hit apply. If I hit apply, it's going to tell me that this port is already forwarded. So I'm not going to hit apply, but this is the same exact thing that you would do. You just type this in, or you can find the same thing you're going to use here and click it, and you would just hit apply. Since I already have mine done, though, I'm not going to do that. I just showed you exactly what I did, though. I did nothing different. So this is that. So after you do that, the port should be forwarded now. Excuse me. So the only step now is to pretty much give the IP that you need to give to your friends so that they can join your server. So if you type in IP chicken, this is a free website that'll tell you your IP. This is, it's going to show it right here on IP checking. It's also going to show it right here, and a lot of people try to block this and they miss a couple of things. But you know, if somebody's trying to help you out like this and they don't want you to know their IP, you know, don't be, you know, a jerk and mess with them. I am going to try to black out all mine. You know, if you do happen to see it, you know, you're not going to be able to join my server anyway. So this is my IP. So this IP right here is the IP you're going to have to give to your friends. So if it's like 11.111.11.111, that's the IP you would give to your friends. So they would go to their Minecraft, they'd go to multiplayer, they'd add a server, and they'd put the address in there. Now, I don't ever do it, but some people say it helps connection. So sometimes if you go to a server and you do the same IP and then :25565 like this, this is the port that we forwarded, and sometimes it gives them better connection, but not always. So as you can see, the local host, if you type that in, you will always be able to connect to your own server without having to type in an IP. I have my IP typed in just to prove to you that it'll work for other people. So I'm going to open the server right now, and now that it's open, I'm going to refresh this, and my server is open, and people can join it on this IP from their computers outside of my home. So there you go. That's how you create your very own Minecraft server for you and your friends to play on. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, a comment. If you have any problems, let me know. I'll try to help you. I might not get to everybody because I am going to start recording this soon, and I'm going to have to do a lot of. Wow, that's nice. I never noticed that before. But I might not be able to get to everyone. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like Minecraft, or I'm going to start posting LPs pretty soon. So maybe come back and watch those if you want to. But this has been Majestic Tiger 22 teaching you how to create a Minecraft server. Thanks for watching. Bye.